The name itself indicates the type of lesions, and we should understand it and properly diagnose the doshic involvement and treat according to that. And moving on to the next is that Vada Pitta or Sanibadika type. Vada Pitta or Agni Visarpa in Malayalam we take it as T Karapan. Other is Vada Gaba type, Grandhi Visarpa Mura Karapan, and other is Pitta Gaba, Chair Karapan or Kaptama Visarpa. And in Sanibadika it is Ashni Visarpa. In Malayalam we will say that Iddival Karapan. And the Rektaja is Rektashti Visarpa or Chora Karapan. Vishaja or Shellega Visarpa, Chili Karapan we can say. Nivarto Vada Viddhabhyam Jara Chandya Sarva Krishna Murchagni Sadasti Veda Ajusamendira Tamaga Prabha Yuktasta Dita Angari. These are some of the general features of these type of Sanibadika, Shalyaja, Vishaja and Samsargaja type of doshas. Here moving on to the Vada Pitta Visarpa or Agni Visarpa, it is a Samsargaja Visarpa where Vada and Pitta of predominates. It is Kritra Sadhya. The first thing we should understand is that whenever a disease comes, whether it is treatable or untreatable or it is difficulty in treating, we should understand. The symptoms are pyrexia, vomiting, diarrhea, thirst, fainting, reduced appetite, aching pain in bones, distaste in mouth, darkness of vision, and hallucination. The feeling is that as if the body is smeared with fire. Charred discoloration in the diseased part, presence of watery filled boils in reddish or blue color. The boils spread fast to the vital parts of the body. It also disturbs sleep, easily lying, and at last causes unconsciousness. This is Agni Visarpa or Vada Pitta Visarpa. And the other is Vada Kabha Visarpa or Grandhi Visarpa. In Grandhi Visarpa, Vada and Kabha are vitiated. Different types of lumps or swelling occurs to children in any part of the body due to any cause. The vitiated Vada, the Samprati of this Grandhi Visarpa is that the vitiated Vada obstructed with vitiated Kabha gets separated and manifests lumps of big and small sizes in elongated, rounded, stony and protruded masses over the body, causing impairment in Snayu, marks and hair. That is why it becomes Kritra. The disease is also characterized by the symptoms such as pain, cough, asthma, diarrhea, hiccup, high fever, difficulty in speak, giddiness, reduced appetite, breaking pain all over the body, and fainting. The features told here are almost similar to that of features told in classical text. And moving on to the Pitta Gaba Visarpa or Kardama Visarpa, the symptoms like fever, stiffness, excessive sleep, laziness, headache, body pain, reduced appetite, giddiness, twaddling, distaste in mouth, convulsion, fainting will be there, clamminess, heaviness, pestilence largely, exudes pus of hot, slimy and putrescent. That's why it is called as Kardama Visarpa. Boil spreads in the body slowly. That's why Kabha predominates in the lassitude will be the clotting in channels, eruptions of boils in the color of pale yellow, bloody red and white will be there. This is Kardama Visarpa or third type of Sanibadika Visarpas. And the main one is Sanibadika or Tridoshaja Visarpa. Here it is called as Ashni Visarpa. It shows the mixed symptoms of all the above doshas and it is asadhya if the Ubhadravas are more. The disease Ashna Visarpa is produced out of equal dissociation of Vada, Pitta and Kapha doshas. It is wise to avoid the patient without giving any medicament because any sort of the medicament given will aggravate the affliction like the lightning increases by the presence of rain. This is also another upamana used in the classical text. Sometimes the disease can be managed by giving proper medicaments for longer duration. And the other thing is Rektashti Visarpa or Chokarapan. Rektashti Visarpa is manifested mainly when Rekta is vitiated. The Visarpa is characterized by the symptoms which are said for Pitta Visarpa. And it is similar to Rekta Pradoshaja Vyadis. So here along with dosha, dhatu should also be clean. Here moving on to the next thing is Shalya Visarpa, which is a type of Visarpa where inflammation occurs when afflicted with any type of Visha or Shalya. Hence, we can conclude that Visarpa occurred due to any foreign body entrance in body or due to any kind of Visha causes this Shalya or Vishaja Visarpa. This constitutes the majority of the pediatric skin problems right now. Any type of small infections or any type of infections will be there in the body of the child, and that reactions or rashes or any skin erosions will be presented and will be understood by us as Shalya Visarpa. The symptoms produced will be based on the dosha vitiated due to the foreign body. Whenever a foreign body enters our body, that body creates vitiation in the doshic level of, and the predominance of that vitiated dosha produces that symptoms associated with that dosha in the body. Moving on to the other varieties, whether we will do it in OPDs. This is Visarpa, this is Grandhi Visarpa, this is Ashani Visarpa, and this is Kardama Visarpa. And we can do the Rectus TV or Sannibadija times. This is Idival content. This usually we are not getting as it is otherwise not getting. We have all heard about a kid called Rahul, where lightning like lesions are there in the body, and so many media controversies were there. And this can, as in Ayurvedic, we can correlate this as Ashani Visarpa or Idival Karpan, which is very rare and which is very difficult to treat. So this, as we are not getting in OPDs, this happened, I think, 7 to 8 years back. This can be correlated to Ashani Visarpa. Moving on to the general clinical features as I described, the burning sensation of head will be there, pyrexia will be there, gynae eyes or malignant netra will be there, edema or swelling or will be there, and the inflammatory boils will be there. These are some of the general clinical features represented by the children when they are coming to our OPDs. We can usually touch the head of the child and see that the temperature of the child will be high. Usually the metabolic activity of the child will be high and then the temperature of the head will be high. But in these typical pediatric dermatological cases, the temperature of the head will be very high and we can easily palpate it and understand that. And moving on to the prognosis. Vadika, Kabaja and Paitika are sadhya when given with proper treatment and proper viharas. Agni Visarpa, Grandhi Visarpa, Kardama Visarpa, like Sannibadika types are Utsa Sadhya if there are no Ubhadravas, and the same thing if there are Ubhadravas, they are Yapya along with Shailaja Visarpa. The Shailaja Visarpa is when it is acute, it can easily be corrected, but when it is chronic, it will be Yapya. And the Asadhya is, as I told, Asani Visarpa or Sannibadika Visarpa. These are observed Karpan cases, or we can usually observe in our OPDs. 8 types of Vadika Visarpas can be clearly seen in our OPDs, while among 16, 11 of the Paitika Visarpas are seen in our OPDs. Not very common, but it is happening in our OPDs, and when we usually correctly diagnose the disease or correctly do the methods, we can easily see these type of cases. And among the 21 Kabaja cases, 15 Visarpas are seen. Samsargaja and Sannibadika types are very rare. Raktaja can be correlated as Paitika Visarpa type. Shailaja or Visharja are predominantly seen, as I told earlier, infections are more common. Moving on to the dosha, we all know after dosha, the doshas will be affected in recta, lasika, mamsa, like that. In these children cases also, along with that dosha, in chronic stages, dosha will be Vished and the Ubhadravas will be high. The same recta, lasika, mamsa, etc. are the doshas affecting along with recta. So after the dosha, doshas should also be understood by us by proper diagnosis. In desha itself, whenever after dosha and dosha, we should analyze the desha. The desha is of 2 types. One is Bhumi desha and Deha desha. And in this Bhumi Deha and desha, first we should understand which part of the body is majorly afflicted, because usually in children the most exposed parts are vitiated more. That is why infectious pediatric cases are more, because it all usually happens in the exposed part. And in other cases, closed parts are also seen. Whenever in 9 to 10 years of age child, usually they come to my OPD saying that his buttocks area and thighs areas are severely itching and also the rashes are there. It is because the uniform they are wearing is clearly polyester mixed, and that causes the irritation and causes the skin lesions. That is where the desham or the affected body part are clearly understood for the proper diagnosis. If the exposed parts are getting afflictions, we should understand the temperature regulation and the sensitivity of the skin is very less. Here, their demography and like clinical conditions will also be there, and in other closed parts, the conditions will be changed. That is the implication of desha, dosha, dusha, and desha in the body. Moving on to Bella, as I told earlier, the Bellum of the child is of very consideration, because the children will be less immune, the children will be more prone to diseases, and children will be less stable. That is why whenever we are giving the medicines, we should understand the venom of the children, because not all medications we are usually giving to adults can be easily given to children. We should samskara, we usually say the samskara of dravyas, we should make it palatable. That is why we usually give arishtas and powders in the form of honey, like that. We should make it palatable to the child, because the belly of the child and the adaptive response of the child will be very less. Moving on to Kalam, that we can usually see in nowadays in December, January cases, when it is winter season or cold climates, the chances of increasing the pediatric cases are much more, because in that cases, usually the winter season, the dryness of the environment increases, and thereby the dryness of the bodies increases, causing severe less in the immune power of the body, which causes dryness of the skin, stretching of the skin, and irritation. The loss of water content in the body is very high, and the children will feel irritable, and that is why the seasonal changes of the disease should be noted. Because usually in December, January, from November 15 to January last, usually the children, the chances of pediatric skin cases are high. What we should usually say is that cleanse the body parts and apply oil. Never make it dry. You may always do any soothing effect to the skin and never make it dry. That is the implication of Kala. And moving on to Anilam. Anilam means the Agni of the child. As we all know, the Agni of the child we should understand through the history taking, and the medicines we should prescribe to the child should be Anila. Like that. And the Prakriti of the children should be assessed for the proper disease diagnosis and treatment. If the children are more Paitika predominant Prakriti, the chances of Paitika Visarpas are more. And if the some medicines we are usually giving to children, it will backfire and increases. Usually, whatever the common people tell us that usually in Ayurvedic practices, we all know that first, whenever we take any Ayurvedic medicine, it will increase by spreading all over the body. It is a very, very bad concept. No medicines will increase the body problems. Only it will subside. Here, the main causative factors is Upashaya and Anupashaya. No medicine will increase the skin lesions in the body. That if the skin lesions in the body is increasing, somewhere in the medicines or somewhere in the medication or somewhere in the patya, there is a wrong, and we should correct it. And the sattam of the children should be noted along with sattam of the parents, because sometimes children will be very small, and that the attitude and the aptitude of the father and mother should be noted, and the satmam of the child and the parents should be noted. And moving on to the ahara, which is very important, because in Dashavida Parisha, ahara of the child and the parents are very much understood for the proper treatment. Here, food, climate and mental tension causes these type of diseases. In food itself, acidic food, incompatible food, spicy food, repeated use of heat and cold, and overuse of soaps and cosmetics, mental stress disturb the skin, because brain and skin are developed from the same layer embryologically. All the causes above releases endotoxins in the body. These endotoxin causes liver function to decrease, increase the heat production in the body, disturb the forces which keep the intactness of the skin, that is intra-epidermal coherence and derma-epidermal adherence. Body immunity and the skin resistance decreased causes illness, that is when we take more acidic, incompatible, spicy food, either the child or the mother who is breastfeeding, the exothermic reaction inside our body increases. This causes the heat controllable capacity of the body to reduce, and this produces the skin layers to deteriorate and causes skin lesions. And also the other main thing is that mental tension. That is why what we usually do is that the pregnant mothers should take normal, good, correct food, because if they take unnecessary, irritable, exothermic, heat-producing foods, this causes the gestational age, maturation and barrier development of the skin of the child to deteriorate, and that causes this Bala Visarpa pediatric dermatology conditions when they born out. That is why the food has got many implications. Also, so many nowadays I have got so many patients with this type of Bala support therapy, and whatever medicines we give, it will not be less. And one day when I asked about one mother, what may be the main reason? Is there any special diet you have took? She told me that when she was in carrying stage, she used to take daily meat. This cause that meat itself is a heat more producing food, and this causes the barrier development of the skin of the child to a problem, and that caused the Bala Visarpa in the later stages. And also the mental tension. Also, one important thing is that uh, taking of Ungumapu in carrying period by mother has now been seen as a cause for Kanapan or Bala Visarpa in children. So please be aware before taking Kumkum, because whatever be the child will have only the color of the skin of father and mother. No extra color will be there. So in taking of Kumkum, we should think twice before taking Kumkum, because if father and mother is having less color, the child will be having the same color. We cannot increase the basics or natural basic body mechanism. And moving on to the Nidana of pediatric skin cases, the Samanya Nidana of Kutta and Visarpa are strictly applicable. In children, adaptation syndrome will be there, because I told you that the skin and brain are developed from embryologically from the same thing. Adaptation syndrome causes the release of endotoxin and the skin cases. That is, it can cause a psychosomatic diseases. And also the Sanya Dushti, Bija Dosha will be there, and Rudu and Garbhaja is there. Because Garbhaja is what I told earlier, because the unnecessary food habits of the mother may cause many types of pediatric skin diseases. And also the Bija Dosha. Bija Dosha means if the mother or father is having any type of Bija Dosha, it can affect the chromosomes and also the skin structure of children. And moving on to the Samrati, Kushta and Visarpa Samrati is there. Ama has got a great role. Rasa and Rectavas sources is involved in acute cases, and in chronic cases, deep sources are involved. Saptadavus told bone Visarpa is also affected. So we should understand these aspects before going on to treatment. And moving on to the clinical classification. Whenever we are diagnosing and treating a child, we should clinically classify and understand the disease. It depends on age, constitutional manifestations, character of the skin, and associated manifestations. If a patient or if the children is staying with dryness and itching more, we should understand that the disease is predominantly Vata Kabja. And if pain and inflammation is more, it is Vata Vaitika. And if the vesicles and pulses are there, it is Pitta Kabja. And we should provide treatment according to the doshic level. And what are the difficulties we are observing right now in these practices are that children are Sumara. We all have a, soft corner to our children. We can't see our children or our child in crying stage. So parents need sudden relief. And they have a concept that Ayurveda is very slow, and they go for other treatments rather than coming to Ayurveda. And they are also less aware about the Ayurvedic possibility of treating these kind of skin diseases. That as a doctors we should do to make awareness to the public that Ayurveda has got proper development. That we should give that Ayurvedic pediatric dermatology capsule. We should encapsulate pediatric dermatology in Ayurveda, and we should spread it to society. Then only our science will be developed. They will come to us. That is, the patients will come to us only after modern intervention. That is, children being Sumara, parents need sudden relief, and they will come to us only after modern intervention. And by the time, the morphology will be entirely changed, because before coming to us, whenever they go for any modern intervention, they will give some topical agents or some antibiotics or some steroids or that. After that, even though it is, they will say that when they took that medicine, it is subsided, and after that, it again re-emerged. And in that case, after fetting up with modern intervention, they will come to Ayurvedic practitioners. And in that case, what happens to us is that, as I told earlier, these 51 types of carbon, everything is there. The morphology of that disease will be entirely changed. Hence, the diagnosis and the morphological and the clinical classification of the disease is very difficult. And as a doctor, we should understand clearly, and proper history should be taken to understand it clearly. And the mother should also be given medications if the baby is breastfeeding. As the age itself shows, for babies we cannot give many medicines, and that the medicine should be given to baby through mother, because the baby being lactating or breastfeeding, the mother when taken that medicines through breastfeed or through the milk, the baby gets the medicines. Usually after below 1 year of age, babies, when they are telling about the diseases, we usually prescribe only external application to the baby, while we give internal medications to the mother. And also the mother should take all the patyas, all the ahara viharas, and she should correct it. And children are prone to get secondary infections like nephritis, pneumonia, etc. So we should be very much careful with that. And the taste of our medicines are very difficult for babies or rather mothers to digest, and that is one of the difficulties we usually faces in our treatment. But always remember, the fruit may be sweet, but the root will be bitter. And what is the present scenario of pediatric dermatology? The occurrence of pediatric dermatological cases has increased. Even though in the Arorya Kalpatruma, the 15 types of classification are there, it is not relevant now. Maximum 40 types can still be diagnosed in clinical practice. Several factors contributed to the morphological changes of Visarga, and hence the sub-classification cannot be relevant. Classification based on dosha is still relevant because our treatment is based on dosha. Diagnosis reads the proper history taking and clinical features mainly, and the morphology is secondary because they will come those only after modern intervention, and that morphology is not clearly seen. In treatment aspect, much changes are not there because as an Ayurvedic physician, we all know what are the basic treatment aspects: Nidana, Parivarjana, and Samprapti Vikarana. What we should do is we should properly take the history, and we should avoid the Nidana, and then Samprapti Vikarana or Kosha Dusha Samudra should be cut off. Our basic protocol and Ama and Dosha analyzed treatment is enough for clearing the pediatric dermatological conditions. When it is clearly understood and clearly treated, very good results are there in pediatric dermatological conditions. Ayurvedic involvement in pediatric cases have reduced due to many reasons, as I told earlier in previous slides. How we should approach a child or pediatric case is by assessing the nature of the child. We should understand the nature of the child. We should take proper history, understand the food habits of the child, assess the place of the child, analyze the dosha and its taratama bedatva for the proper intervention. Counseling of the parents is very much needed because we all know children being the heart and soul of our society, we can't bear their crying or we can't bear their disease. So proper counseling is, even in modern science also, what they are telling is that we should reassure the child and the parents. That is the first and the foremost step as a clinician we should do in treating these type of diseases. If clear, we should analyze the morphology and we should also be aware of the secondary infections. In these things, we have already previously explained about the dosha, dusha, balakala, everything is understood. So, whatever be the basic things we have learned, we should apply this also. Moving on, the treatment aspect. Moving on, this Karpanjins or pediatric dermatological concern. We should give internal medicines to facilitate the reparative process, that is the reparative process of the skin, and also the external medicine to facilitate the healing process. How healing process is done? By removing the debris, that the lesions which happened in the body should be wiped off and the new skin should be there. That should be our external medicine, and the internal medicine should be given for that. And we should treat the child and the mother. And it should be done after analyzing dosha and clinical features. Moving on to treatment, what are the treatment we can do externally is that we can do lebana, we can do kshalana, and we can do abhinga. And internally we can do kashayapana, taila sevana, arishta sevana, etc. Shodhana we cannot give correctly to children, but if it is more than 10 years old, we can do mild shodhana. And general treatment modalities and formulations can also be used according to the age. The medicine we should give in these conditions should be Amabhajana. Whatever be the disease, whoever be the afflicted person, there should be a small level of Ama, and we should do Amabhajana first. Then we should give Dosha Shamana. And after that, children being very small, we should also give Ojo Vardhana. And along with Amabhajana, we should give Deebana and Paga Shamana. And all of the blisters are very severe or lesions are very severe, Ranagobala should be there. We should give Shoto Shodana, Rekta Shodana, Pradisarna to wipe away the debris and Criminasana if that infection is there. Viraginium and Mutramol should also be there in the disease of chronic. These are some of the medicines we should apply. And moving on to some of the medicines which have certain effect, an antibiotic-like effect, the Champravalli, Ampelatius latifolia, Krishna Jiraka, Gubbulu, Madhusudi, Rasagandhi, Rasasindhura, and Balladaka, if properly applied in a correct dosage, will give certain result to diseases. I'm not giving you, all of you should do this. It should be properly done, and if it is done properly, the result will be magnificent. And these are some of the internal drugs which can be given internally. Parandi, Amruta, Musta, Padola, and Punadava can be given in all types of doshic diseases. And in Vadiga, Dineshwali, Eganayaga, Jasna, Pala, Durva, Arka, and Devadaram has got good effects. In Paitiga, Chandana, Madhuga, Shariva, Kshiri, Viksha, Amalagi, Ramacha, etc. seem to be good effects. And in Kabaja, Aragoda, Khadira, Vacha, Chatava, Nimba, Eganayaga, and Vada seem to be good effects. Externally, Parandi, Eganayaga, Jaba, Kushta, Durva, Dineshwali can all be used either by Kashaya for external washing and also be used as oils for external like that. Many medicines are now available in the market which can be used according to the condition of the children. Significance of the Sarya Kalpatoma is that the culture and geography has changed a lot from the 19th century to this 21st century, and this allopathic intervention has made it difficult for us to clearly diagnose the morphology. Infections are changed into allergic reactions because the children being less immune and less prone to less immune, the allergic reactions are more. So that whenever there is an infection affecting a child, clearly it is in secondary stage, it is moving to allergic stage. And also children being Kabaja type, and then children are in the biting Kabaja stage. So whenever there is an infection or skin disease are there, the chances of Pythika type moving into Vadiga type or secondary Vadiga type, Kevala Vadiga is much more. The relevance of drugs today is the use of mainly household items like coconut milk, buttermilk, etc. In many cases, many of the skin diseases, we can usually take coconut milk, buttermilk, household items for getting proper results. These are some of the classical medicines we use for internal administration. Kashaya Sondavadam, Kashaya Nubadi, Kashaya Mulagadi, Kashaya 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 Pranavadi, Kashaya Narakadi, Kashaya Amadashta, Amadashta like Anishtas, Gobi Chandani, Gulga, like Gulgas, Resinja Juna, Hydra, and etc. like Chukas, Kalyana, Tikta, Mahatma, are the thing. Or we can also know that whenever the skin of the child is very dry, we can apply Guda externally for having a soothing effect. That Gulga like Gobi Chandani, etc. used to reduce the inflammation or ama. Kashayam is also used to reduce the inflammatory conditions. These are some of the classical medicines for external applications. Parachurna, Nalpamrani Churna, Argula Churna, and Ela Churna. Argula Churna is applied when you have more itching. Ela Churna is Vata Shamana. Parachurna is for Udosha Shamana. Nalpamrani Churna is applied when the Paithiga predominance is there. Ela the Karela, Nalpamrani Kerala. The Rajavaliyadi Pandiyadi like oils are applied before bath. Patram and coconut milk in very small children use coconut milk for external application. Parthi or Ixora coccinea is a very useful single drug in character. Whether it is used as kashaya, whether it is used as oil, whether it is used for shavana, it is very beneficial. That is kashaya, pitta, kaduvaga, shida, veena, lagu, and pitta gava shavana. These are some of the treated cases. The children came to me with these type of lesions. What I generally gave was that this has got a Paithiga effects. So pitta vada shamana I have given with some Sodamadam Kashayam and Amadhanishta, and also the Biwadi and Gobi Jamanadi. After 1 week, the lesions were dried, and then I had told them to apply Eradic Erdaila, sorry, Pachavalgadic Erdaila, and so many days it was very clearly cured. And this is the other thing. The same protocol, first we gave Ama, Pachana, and Pitta Shamana. Then also along with that, we also give Shalana and oil application. After 2 weeks, it was like that, and this scars will take 2 to 3 months to reduce. After properly applying this oils, we can reduce the daily application of oils can reduce this lesions. And these are the other cases. This is severe seborrheic dermatitis like conditions. This is Pitta Kapha. Along with that, some other infections was there. That we were treated, and after 1 month, 45 days, the result was this. But the thing is that we should maintain this thing by properly applying oils and everything daily. And moving on to the basics of treatment, prevention is better than cure. Whenever the parents are getting conceived or they are carrying, we should take prevention from Garbhavastha itself. Proper Garbhini Charya should be done by proper food for the Garbhini. Avoid tension and stress to Garbhini. Avoid unnecessary medications to the Garbhini. More of fruits and vegetables should be taken. Apika should be done with hair diet daily from the time children is 1 month of old. We should avoid non-vegetarian junk foods which are all exothermic reaction cause many types of lesions. We should use only clean cotton dress and all other dress like polystyrene and everything may cause other secondary lesions and infections. We should keep personal cleanliness and hygiene. Even the subclassification of Scarpin has now invalid as morphological manifestations are affected. The main reason behind this is allopathic intervention I have told is likewise Nidanas as I was saying, similar is the environmental factors and behavior safety, lack of immunity is undergoes nowadays. These are some of the difficulties we are getting now. But in treatment aspect, much changes are not there as our basic protocol is based on Amavastha and Doshavastha. And moving on to the conclusion part, Pala Chikitsa is a tradition in Ayurveda, and we are comparing this modern academic ego because modern academic ego means we are all saying that whatever be the disease, whatever be the condition, the first preference people are taking is modern, and they are only coming to us in secondary stage, and that traditional clinical wisdom we are all having through Ayurveda should be spread to society, and then only this ego will be diminished, and the people will think Ayurveda as their life for their lifestyle. The area is multi-dimensional, the approach is holistic, and that is why the result is very pleasing. And when we treat a disease like this Bala Chikitsa or Bala Visarpa, the proper result will be there, and this will give a holistic approach. Practically and clinically, it is proved. That is our aim, is to bridge the gap. Research is needed for that, and we should do our best and be the best. And moving on to the orientation of treatment of Bala Chikitsa, what should be our purpose? That we should understand. We should be sincere, we should have empathy, we should have skill, and we should have love and care. And we should diagnose the condition as morphological, clinical, and etiological. And then only we can move to cure. How we should cure is that we should treat the area while handling the patient. We should reassure, remove the cause, palliative treatment should be given, and if in cases if need, physical and surgical approach will be there. In medical economics, because usually what people are now saying is that our treatment charges are very high, like that whenever they are taking out treatment, the charges or economically they are not possible because many of them are middle class. So we should avoid therapeutic panic and help natural aids. We should provide them with lifestyle changes. We should tell them to use their own household items like that, and make the medicines less and prevent through household items, and the faith of that patient will be high, and that is the ultimate pediatric success. Hope I have talked to you in clarity and hope you have understood the message. Thank you. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity, and I will also tell you that whenever a patient comes to us, whenever a patient or a child will come to us, first reassure them. First properly understand their problems. Talk to them a lot. Clearly understand everything and every aspects of their disease, and then reassure. Palliative treatment we should give, and then only we should give for treatment aspect, because in many cases, these type of skin cases, I don't know how many of you believe that some godly thing is there, because some cases will only be relieved through time. So like that we all saying, because sometimes I don't know how many of you believe in Jataka like that. Usually whenever a patient is coming to us, and whatever be the medicines we are given, if the patient is not getting a proper result, usually I tell them to go for Jataka test. If that condition is told in the Jataka, or if any problems is there in Jataka, it will take time. We should do pariharas for that. Then only we should give medicines, and then, or else it should be properly balanced, and then it will take time and it will be healed. So hope I have talked to you in clarity. Thank you so much. Shall I stop sharing?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session. There are no words which can convey the awe and respect to you, sir. We would like to, however, take this opportunity to tell that it is an honor and privilege to have you here, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Next, I would like to move on to the question and answer session. Just to remain the dedicated, please put your queries in the chat box in your control panel. Sir,
Yes.
shall I ask the question, sir?
That's better, because here Google Forms like that, no questions I can understand. In chat box, you can directly ask me.
Okay. Sir, the first question is best taila for Abhyanga in children.
Which type of Abhyanga? Because whatever be that, Kera Taila is beneficial for Abhyanga. If the girl childs are there, we can go for Nalpamaradi or Panchavalkadi. And if male or boys are there, it is beneficial, we go for Eladi Kerdaila, which is Vadakapasavana. Because this Panchavalkadi Kerdaila and Nalpamaradi Kerdaila has got Haritra in it, which removes the excess hairy skin. In girls, the skin is very, they always remove it, or the skin is very problematic. So the Panchavalkadi or Nalpamaradi Kerdaila is good for girls, and Eladi Kerdaila is good for males, because males needs hair. Whatever be that, the Kerdaila should be applied daily for preventing these types of diseases. That is the main and the foremost thing.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the next question is how to cure scare caused due to chicken pox.
That is the thing, because in chicken pox, it's a viral infection, and the scars caused to the chicken pox is secondary. It is the blisters after healing, it will be black colors. So what we should do is Rakta Prasadaka, the Kera Tailas, we should apply for 2 to 3 months. It slowly and slowly and slowly fades and be clear. Eladi Kera Taila, Nalpamaradi Kera Taila, Panchavalkadi Kera Taila, like it, we can apply for reducing the color. Because it is a secondary lesion, the color is slowly fade off. And we should also, along with that, get proper sunlight.
Thank you, sir. Next question is how to treat the Shirada children suffering from skin manifestation.
That is, I have already explained, I think. Shirada children suffering from skin manifestation. Usually, only after 6 months of age, these types of skin lesions occur to children. At that time, only we should give external, if the children is below 1 year, we should only give external applications to child. At the same time, we should give medications to mother. According to the condition, according to the dosha, we should give prescribed medicines to the mother. The mother should take that medicines, follow the patyas, and through her breast milk, the medicines will reach child, and the result will be there.
Thank you, sir. The next is while treating dry lesion and papule, is it ideal to peel it off or leave it as such?
I didn't understand. Hello?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you please repeat? Hello?
Sir?
Hello? Yes.
Sir, while treating dry lesion and papule, is it ideal to peel off or leave it as such?
Why peeling off? It will already peel off when we apply Thailand and other external application. Shalana, by removing the debris, as the term I use is, whenever we use these type of conditions, before you go for Shalana and application of Thailand, it will always the cells will die and get peeled off. We should not manually the things, because that here ama cheda will happen. Amavastha, the chedana of things in the amavastha will happen and cause secondary infections.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, as we are running behind the scheduled time, we are not winding up the question answer session. Shall we conclude, sir?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions with so much patience and sharing your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Now I would like to welcome Dr. Surabhi Iyar, Assistant Professor, Department of Rachana Sarira, Ayurveda College, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hi, Surabhi.
Hi, Srinath. A warm good evening to all of you. It's a privilege and a great joy for me to extend a vote of thanks at this occasion. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to my friend and my batchmate, Dr. Srinath S., for giving an excellent coverage about pediatric dermatology in Ayurveda. I'm sure the session has helped the participants to understand, analyze, apply, and comprehend the ancient pediatric knowledge into the clinics. Your ability to present the topic in such a lively and interesting way produced one of the best evenings for all of us. Thank you once again. On behalf of Ayurveda College Coimbatore family, I extend my thanks to all guests and participants here. We thank you all for being with us this evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It doesn't matter where you go and what you study. What matters most is what you share with yourself and the world. We have come to the end of the session. Dear delegates, our next Dishya free webinar series will be conducted on 16th Wednesday, 7 p.m. In the next section, we will be discussing about an effective clinical management of Mootrashmari urolithiasis by Dr. Prabhudeva YP, MS, Professor and PG Guy, Department of PG Studies from SVM Ayurveda Medical College, Shalli Centra. Thank you everyone for joining with us today. For further details on our upcoming session, stay connected with us in all our social media. Hope you all had a great evening. Good night.